Reiss Nelson just changed his mind on playing for Jamaica. We're going to discuss in this video, people, and give you the live update on what's taking place with the player. This player has been scouted by the Jamaica Football Federation, and a lot of fans has been expecting Reiss Nelson to make his debut for Jamaica, but there might be a U-turn coming from the player. Remember to hit the like and subscribe button, and we'll be right back after this intro.
It's a beautiful first touch, and Rashford is in, and Rashford has scored. Okay, it's done really well. Havertz is running through, but Broggin's out of his goal. 2 goals in 2 games for Marcus Rashford.
Pulls the trigger, he sticks it through. Jamaica silences the.
Reiss Nelson just made a move to Fulham recently this season, and we're gonna just break down some things and just let you kind of get an idea who this player is. Everybody knows Reiss Nelson's potential. He's a promising young football player known for his pace and his dribbling skills, his ability. He's very good in close areas when it comes on to dribbling and his pace. Though a lot of people seen him at Arsenal, and we'll just give you guys a little bit more about the history of the player. Everybody know how good Reiss Nelson is. He can play on the right and he can play on the left. But you know, some people would say some of his weaknesses are basically he struggles with consistency throughout his career, and he needs to improve when it comes on to his decision making. They also talk about his physicality. While he is quick, they say he can sometimes be overpowered by stronger defenders. Injuries has also plagued the player throughout his career. But if you look back at Reiss Nelson, his career, Reiss Nelson, he started out at Arsenal. He joined the academy at 7 years old. He progressed through the ranks. He showed his versatility. He played as a forward at Arsenal, coming up, and a winger at the academy. Not for you, a lot of people can remember his successes. He basically played a key role in that Arsenal team that won the FA Youth Cup in 2018. And he also made his debut, his first team debut, a year before that in 2017, coming off the bench as a substitute against Belgrade Red Stars in the Europa League. Everybody can remember that. He also had a few loan spells to gain experience. Nelson spent some times at a few clubs. He was in the Bundesliga, where he impressed with his pace, dribbling, and goal scoring ability. But a lot of his key performances came when he returned to Arsenal in 2019. He made a significant impact in 2021 to 2022 season, scoring 3 goals and providing 2 assists in the Premier League. But potentially for the future, international football is on the card for Reiss Nelson, as he can both play for Jamaica and he can play for England. Reiss Nelson has been compared to players like Phil Foden. A lot of people would say, well, Phil Foden is a way better player, but Reiss Nelson has been, his name came up when you talk about players like Phil Foden. No, playing for Jamaica is what we are here to talk about today. There's been a lot of rumors concerning his passport, whether Reiss Nelson will get his passport. Some people say his brother is the one who's taking care of it. There's a lot of stuff going on, or a lot of stuff people are talking about when it comes on to Reiss Nelson, but he hasn't really made the decision whether or not he wants to play for Jamaica. Or some people went back to an interview. That's the interview that really sparked the whole Reiss Nelson frenzy, when he was speaking about Zimbabwe and Jamaica, and fans thought he was leaning more towards playing for Jamaica. No, Reiss Nelson has been on the bench at Arsenal under Arteta, hasn't got a lot of playing time, hasn't received that game time that he really needs to basically kick on as a Premier League player. However, Jamaica, he has been recruited by the Jamaica Football Federation, and they've been waiting now to see if his documents would be processed in time for him to come back into the team. However, that hasn't happened recently. So a lot of people are still in limbo. Whenever we're doing live streams, I can see commenters asking, is Reiss Nelson coming to play for Jamaica? I looked at Reiss Nelson this weekend and he looked really good. He looked something like a Leon Bailey, dribbling the football, and he looks very clinical in front of goal. And he looks like he has the potential as well to play in other position on the field. I think this is an ideal player for a coach like Steve McLaren, because when you look at what Steve McLaren has done with the Jamaican team in only 2 games, we saw 2 different ways how Jamaica can play. Jamaica against Cuba played a very controlled ball possession kind of game. But when they went a few days later down there in Honduras in a hostile environment, we saw that Jamaica was able to get the result in a way where they had to basically fight and scrap to get that 2-1 win. And it was a well-deserved win for the Reggae Boys. Reiss Nelson, though, Jamaica, I think, could use this player in many different ways, as he's a very versatile player. And as we all know, Jamaica is lacking in many areas, especially in the middle of the park. Jamaica is really lacking in the middle of the park. There don't really have that game changer. Leon Bailey was out. Demari Gray just came back, but he looked pretty out of shape, basically. So Jamaica could use a player like Reiss Nelson in the team. And I'm going to let you know what Reiss Nelson is saying basically about playing for Jamaica. A lot of people are also expecting Mason Greenwood. What can Reiss Nelson add to Jamaica? I think he can add some attacking potency. I think he can add some creativity. And with players like Leon Bailey, who might be ahead of him in the pecking order, we know Leon Bailey at times tend to come down with those hamstring injuries, as he just recently picked up a hamstring injury at Aston Villa, but he just returned as well. No, why are we here? The update on Reiss Nelson. Basically, people, it's been reported by those guys on Arsenal Fan TV that Reiss Nelson has said that he wants to play a full season of Premier League football for Fulham before he start to think about international football. So basically, for all the people who are looking for Reiss Nelson for the next window, doesn't seem like that's going to happen, as Reiss Nelson wants to focus on Premier League football. The last player who told Jamaica that they needed 18 months, it's going 2 years now, and that's Omari Hutchinson. He needed to get a club. However, he got the club. He's in the Premier League. Still turned down the call up for Jamaica. And Omari Hutchinson, he has made it clear to Steve McLaren that he's waiting for a call up from England. He did receive a call up from England. Wasn't the call up he was expected, though. He received a call up for the U21, where he eventually pulled out due to injuries or some things. It's a bit sketchy, but we'll dive into that on another video. So Reiss Nelson, guys, is saying basically he needs an entire season with Fulham before he comes or thinks about playing international football. So let me know what you think, people. Is Reiss Nelson potentially gonna wait too long, because the World Cup is in 2026? This Premier League season goes all the way into next year. No, how long does Reiss Nelson wants to wait? Because I think this Jamaica team, the longer players wait to join up with this Jamaican team, it's the harder it's going to be for these players to get into the team. If players like Mason Greenwood shows up, Dujon Sterling, a lot of those other players who are on the radar for Steve McLaren. And I'm sure as we speak, Steve McLaren is putting in some work on the recruiting side of things. So People, let's see what's going to happen here. Will Reiss Nelson actually stay true to his word and wait out the entire season, or he will join up with Jamaica as soon as he gets his documents in line? However, it's also stated that Reiss Nelson's brother is the one who's taking care of his documentation. So let's see if Reiss Nelson just basically get it over the line. So let me know in the comment section, people, what do you think? We should just look ahead and maybe forget about Reiss Nelson, or we should just be a little bit more patient and understand that the player hasn't been playing competitive football for a very long time. Hence, we need to just give him some time to basically get that engine roaring again before he thinks about international football. And remember, we have to be fair to these players. transition in Transitioning from England into CONCACAF is not very easy. We saw a lot of players has done that for Jamaica, and it hasn't worked out exactly the way they wanted it to. So let me know what you think, people, in the comment section. Should Jamaica just move on, or they should wait on Reiss Nelson? Give the player some time, because we would have to wait anyways. Let me know what you think, people. Thank you for joining us on FSL Soccer and Sports Blem. I'm your host, Jay Taylor. Bless upon yourself. Until next time, I'm out.
It's a beautiful first touch, and Rashford is in, and Rashford has scored. Okay, it's done really well. Havertz is running through for Brugge.